Very good evening, friends. Welcome you all to the speaker meeting of weekly speaker meeting of RCG. So, may I request past President Rotarian Ramnathan sir to kindly call up the President and start the meeting. Can we call Sampagi Raja to give away the 4-way test?
The 4-way test of the things we think, we say or do. Is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you.
Rotarian Shankar to kindly give the thought for the day.
உருவத்தால் அழகாக இருக்கும் ஹீரோவை விட உள்ளத்தால் உணர்ந்திருக்கும் வில்லனே அழகானவர். All the glitters is not a gold, but all the Rotarians are real gold. Will you all accept? Thank you.
Thank you, Shankar, for giving us a wonderful thought for the day. Very apt for the session today. Thank you so much. Always live a life with your biography in mind. The veteran actor and an inspirational human being, MN Nambiar, lived a life of a perfect biography. Today we have with us one of the progeny of the great actor, Deepak Nambiar, with us. He's going to share with us his vivid memories of his childhood, days of growing up with a legend. Not quite often do we all get an opportunity to grow with a legend like MN Nambiar. So it's a great opportunity and an honor for us. Mr. Deepak, please kindly join us here on the head table with us.
Good evening, my dear RCGians, guests and fellow Rotarians. It is with great pleasure and honor that I welcome each and every one of you to our weekly Rotary meeting. As a president of this wonderful club, I am very grateful for the opportunity to gather with such a diverse and committed group of individuals who share a common passion for service above self. Rotary is not just a club. It's a global movement that transcends borders, culture, and backgrounds. Through our collective effort, we strive to make a positive impact on the world, one community at a time. Whether it's through local projects or international initiatives, our dedication to making a difference is unwavering. Today, as we come together once again, we have the privilege of hosting an inspiring, motivational speaker who will undoubtedly share valuable insights and perspective with us. These moments of learning and exchange are what make our meetings so enriching and fulfilling. Welcome, sir, once again. Welcome for the today speaker meeting. Friends, I just want to update the CSR projects. In the வருஷம் என்ன CSR PPT? இந்த வருஷத்தோட CSR projects வந்து just I want to update. நம்ம இந்த ரோட்டரி கிளப் ஆஃப் கிண்டி வந்து சிஎஸ்ஆர்ல வந்து ஒரு பெரிய ஒரு புரட்சியை பண்ணிட்டு இருக்குன்னு சொல்லலாம். This year we have started the global grant. First is Arumbugal project. The Arumbugal project CSR is already completed. This year the first CSR project is E-Netra project. The smart vision classes that is completed is a Sankara Netralaya. The project cost is 45 lakhs. USD is 53,600. And the second CSR project, Arumbugal, pediatric cardiac surgery, 50 children with the Children's Hospital. The total project cost is 26.25 lakhs. The entire money was collected. Already 8 surgeries was completed. The USD value is 31,250. The third CSR project is Arogya, mammography mission to VHS Hospital. The total project cost is 52 lakhs. USD is 61,904. That is also our own member Rotarian Ganesan is going to contribute 21,000 USD for this project. And the Vidyut Solar project to the government higher secondary schools. Our own member Ravi Shivaraman is going to contribute 20. His company is going to contribute 20 USD for the solar project. And Patasala is a construction of 2 classrooms. Again, this is also CSR project. The project cost is 24 lakhs, USD 28,571. The one good news is the government Padasala, last 3 months, we are approaching to the government DPI. Today evening 4 o'clock, we got the approval from the government for construction of 2 classrooms. It's a very good news, so I want to share with the members. So that also, Parasala project also we got approved. The project cost is 24 lakhs and USD 28,571. And Gurukul project, the company name is MS Technical Solutions, agreed to contribute 21,000 USD. And the project cost is 20 lakhs and 23,800 USD cost. And again, one more company, NR. So friends, this year we are going to complete 7 CSR project for the project value of 2 crore 4 lakh 25,000 rupees. This achievement because your full support, the members of Rotary Club of Guindy. Again, I'm telling all this happening because all your supports, the supports we require. Remaining months also and remaining incoming presidents we need. In the CSR ellame we are இத வந்து நம்ம subsequent yearsக்கு நம்ம follow பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கோம். So with this, I just want to share the CSR objects for the members thing. And the previous slide is 2 crore is the project is through foundation. This project is through our Rotary Guindy Trust. This is a Vidyut Matrix Business Solutions 20 lakhs. And Gurukul project, that is a smart board and smart board with the corporation school and aided schools. That is 26 lakh. And Nalam Nadivir, Red Fort Foundation is giving 10,000. The totally 56 lakhs. The project we are going to execute, the money is already credited to our trust account. So totally through Rotary Foundation and Rotary Trust, this year we are going to do 2 crore 56 lakhs worth of project with the support of all the members. So remaining, I need all the support for the remaining members. Thank you so much. Club Service, on behalf of Club Service Director Sridharan, we don't have weekly speaker meeting next week. Instead of that, we have holy celebrations on 31st this month. The chairman, our own member Sitani, is going to be chairman for the event. Our Youth Service Director, kindly update the information about our road tractor.
We have upcoming Raila for the road tractors this Friday, 22nd of March. It's going to be a first time overnight Raila in Rotary Club of Guindy. We have done an elaborate planning. Thanks to the core team, we have some team members. We have Priya, we have T. Sridhar, and thanks to the sponsors for this Raila. We have eminent speakers for the students, for the lifestyle coaching. We have speakers for emotional intelligence. And first time, I think, 16 Rotarians are accepted to participate in this Raila. That's a good number, and we welcome more. Thank you.
Thank you, Priya, for getting the sponsor from almost 2.2 lakhs collect pending. Thank you. So very big round of applause for Priya. We have our new prospect today with us, Sarana Kumar.
My name is Sarana Kumar Palnisami. I'm doing the Yellow World Tour Private Limited in Chennai and Coimbatore.
I'm Radhakrishnan, Managing Director of Kalyani Stampings Private Limited. We have a factory in Varagadam. Around 100 people are working there. Last year we did a turnover of 25 crores. We are manufacturing sheet metal auto components.
Now we come to the main agenda of the day. Can I request our First Lady Raji Balachandar to kindly introduce the speaker for the day, Mr. Deepak Nambiar.
In real life or real life, we normally remember the heroes. Very few villains have remained close to our heart, making a mark with their acting and their persona. Ashokan, Esther, Anandraj, Raghuvaran, Prakash Raj are few names that pop into our mind when we say top villains. But there is one Doyen who has been a real life hero, donning the garb of a real life villain. And he is none other than MN Nambiar, a person who our speaker today fondly calls Appa. Our speaker Deepak grew up in Madras, raised by 2 strong women, his mother and grandmother, not exactly in that order. In his own words, I quote, "He is a loving dad who spoils his children and okay a son, a loyal friend, an animal lover, a lousy biker, a bad squash player, a mediocre author, a terrible Instagrammer, and a Beatles fan. A person with a great sense of humor that equals nothing else but his grit, that shows in the way he bounced back a mere 5 months after getting his leg amputated, bagging the man of the finals in a cricket tournament. Not just a cricketer, he is also a silver medalist at the National Para Rowing Championships this year. He just spoke to us and he says, I love to do any activity that tears my body into pieces. That is the sort of person Mr. Deepak Nambiar is. His strength comes, I guess, from spirituality and the family tradition of going to the Sabarimala. He has been the third generation Guru Swami following the steps of Nambiar Swami. Let's hear all about Nambiar today. All the good, the bad, and the holy. That's the name of his book, by the way. And the fastidious way in which Nambiar Swami kept his public persona and his personal life separate. The floor is all yours, sir, and we're all ears.
Thank you so much for sparing 20 minutes of your time today. I'd like to start off by thanking Shantana for suggesting my name to stop. President Bala, every single Rotarian over here. And a special shout out to Rotarian Suresh, who's actually taken the time to go through my YouTube videos. So thanks so much. The thing is, when you grow up with a legend, you don't realize the hardships that they've faced to get to wherever they are. And he's never once told me about it. He's somebody who, despite seeing so much of life, has only spoken about the good experiences that he's had. So in this 20 minutes, I'm going to be very cognizant of your time. It's 10 to 8 now. So around 8, I will wrap up this talk. Once I wrap up this talk, I'm hoping that you have a lot of questions for me. I would love to have an interactive Q&A session. Please feel free to ask anything that you want. That would be absolutely lovely. So let's get started, because Marcel Proust, the great French poet, once said that you don't learn anything in life when you're happy. It's only when you're going through hardships that you actually learn the meaning of life. Appa, Valkela Kashtapatamari, I don't know, there are too many other people. Maybe I'd come a poor second, but he's got a lot of lessons that he didn't share with me, but I would put in because I've been with him for 31 years, I've learned a lot. So that little introduction, let's get started. And it looks like this thing doesn't work. So, at the slide, you can go to the next slide, sir. This is about me, and I would prefer not to speak much about myself. Appa actually came from a wealthy family. He had a wealthy family that went bankrupt because one of his uncles cheated the family, and the Kashtatanala, he had to go to Ooty. He was raised in Ooty by his brother-in-law. And a very hard life, but he only remembered the happy moments from that school, football, and things like that. And particularly, so one day when he was 12 years old, he was walking past somewhere close to Charing Cross, and he saw some people doing the Surya Namaskar over there. And he stopped, he watched them, he liked the discipline. Next day again, while going to school, he saw the same people doing the Surya Namaskar, and he stopped and asked somebody, who are you people? What are you doing over here? That man said, my name is Nawab Rajamanikam Pillai. He's one of the masters of the drama scene at that time. He said, they're my drama troupe. We've come to Ooty for 3 days. We'll have some shows over here. And then we're going to go on to Mysore. And then we're going to Pollachi and different places. So he was struck by the discipline. And he went home and told his brother-in-law, I won't stop studies. And anyway, we're going through a hard time. I don't mind joining them. And they're going to give me 2 rupees a month as a salary. So I don't mind doing that. So think about it. A kid who's 12 years old is willing to step out into the real world and earn money to support his family. I think that is staggering, because on the Kalatala, we call it old school tough. The people were that tough. They just take a leap of faith. I personally know a lot of 24-year-olds who can't even go out and support themselves, let alone their own families. So at the age of 12, he left home and it was a one-way street for him. He didn't know what was going to come, but he just stepped out of the house and he said, I'm going to go to drama troupe. Let's see what happens. When he was 14, by the time he was 14, 2 years in the industry, and the role of Ravana had stuck to him. Everybody liked to see Nambiar as Ravana. And he told me, when I was 14, These drama troops would have one show at 10 o'clock in the night, and then around 12:30 they stop for dinner. The second show would start at 1 o'clock and go on till 4 o'clock. He said, I've stood in the corner between takes or between the drama episodes, and he'll cry because he'll be like, when am I going to get at least one night's sleep in my life where I can sleep for 3 hours at a stretch? Because next morning at 7 o'clock they wrap up and then go to the next town. He suffered that much for the time he was 14 till he was 16 or 17. That was the time. The first Tamil film came out in the year 1931. It was called Harishchandra. And 4 years later, MN Nambiar made his debut. So think about it. He's been there from the start of the Tamil industry, you could say. And at that time, people were moving from drama into films. And somebody came and asked him, like, I'm doing a movie called Bhakta Ramdas. Would you be interested? He said, yeah, sure. I think if people are going into it, why not? So we went to Bombay, shot the movie Bhakta Ramdas, and for that he was paid a grand salary of $75. And the $75 he sent home, and like back in that time, 75 rupees was a lot of money. And village ellarume or pugaldar, oh my God, MN Nambiar, he's really made it big. Man, he's getting $75 for this movie. But unfortunately, after that, he took a movie called Indasagar in 1936. And in those days, you can imagine, film industry, they would have 3 or 4 movies a year, that's it. And after everything was done, post-production work, everything was over, the day of release, the shed where Indasagaran, the reel was kept, it was burned to the ground. Some catastrophe, maybe through tobacco or whatever. And all his dreams, the second movie came crashing down. So there's no other offer for him. What does he do? He's like, okay, I take a step back and I go back into the drama, they'll have me. And they did have him because he was that good in whatever he did. And for the next 11 or 12 years, think about it, he's made his debut and then again he takes 2 steps back and goes to the drama of this thing. So he went there and then almost 11 years later, 1946, Vidyapati vandhathu. And that was the time from which he started actually doing movies consistently. So think about it, 1935 you have your debut, 11 years you've got nothing in your hand except your dreams and then doing these little drama roles wherever you can. 1946, Vidyapati came in. And then he started to slowly find his own way into. And even back then, the drama company, salary, he would send 5 rupees home and take a 2 rupee loan from the cashier. And so, like, cashier account that guy will be like, I'm giving $2, I don't know why I'm doing this. He said, I faced a lot of insults that way, but he took in the right spirit. And he always told me, like, in life, first take care of yourself before thinking of taking care of other people. That's one lesson that he always drilled into me. Especially because my teenage carefree days, I was very, very responsible, I guess. So, next slide, please. I think, yeah. Know your weakness is the next slide. And I've asked him quite a few times, like, so many people, like Ashokan Mama, Veerapan Kariyappa, so many people have gotten into production. Yeah, you could have taken a movie according to you. I said, no. I know that I'm not going to be a good producer. So, as far as the product goes, as a villain, I'm okay. I'm not going to venture into something that I don't know much about. And this is kind of ironic because our family friends were the Alsa group. Alsa, I don't know if you know Alsa Mall, Alsa Builders. They were doing very well till they got into shrimp farming. And so again, the moral over here is know your product and know the product's strengths before you do something. So he said, I've never gone to production. Very happy just being on. Slide number 2, must be wondering what that is bringing a stick to a sword fight. During the shooting of Thul and Pochin, Bhagirath sir said, like, listen, we're going to do a stick fight over here. So Appa said, no stick fight because I can do sword fights. I don't know stick fighting very well. So Bhagirath sir said, I've seen so many movies with MGR, you've done stick fights. These are the other one, I don't know stick fighting, I know sword fighting very well because of camera movements and all that. He made it appear like I knew this. So Bhagirath sir ensured that there were not only stick fights. So again, it's a question of know what you're good at and stick to that because that's the product that you want to convey. One thing, point number 3, and Appa was a bit of an introvert. He knew a lot of people, but he was somebody who would never visit anybody's house. And he would tell me, there are so many roles I could have got by networking. I should have networked. Maybe I should have joined a club. I should have hung out with more people. I just didn't care to do that. But luckily, I got through. He always told me, don't be an introvert. Go out and meet people, cultivate people, because you never know where opportunities will rise. So that's something that he never followed, but he was lucky in the sense that he was great at what he did, and the roles just kept coming. Point number 4 is Amma, have a trustworthy person to scale up. He told me that the man of the family is your grandmother. He told me that when I was a kid because whatever salary he gets, he would come and just give it to Amma and say, like, you take care, I don't need this tension. You do whatever you want, you invest wherever you want, you build whatever you want. Don't bother me with these fiscal matters. I think that was amazing, but it's also a testament to the kind of union that they had, husband and wife. In industrially, it's very, very, I think it's pretty famous among many circles that they had almost the perfect relationship, Madhu. So if you're in a business or something, you can't do everything by yourself. Already he's working 18 hours a day. My mother didn't see him growing up. He would leave at 7 in the morning, come back at 6 in the evening, again leave at 7 at night and come back at 2 in the morning because in the 60s he was at the peak of his prowess. So you need somebody to manage other things also when you're out there making products. So that's something that Appa told me. He was lucky that he had Amma. And the last slide is a little bit of a tongue-in-cheek because at one point in time, I'm not going to mention who Mohan is, you can do the influence yourself. He had some money to invest and then he gave it to Amma. He said, like, just go ahead, give this money and take this money and then buy the house in Uti or whatever you want to do. A week later, he came and asked, she said, no, Mohan could have and he'll take care. He said, Mohan could have of all the people, Mohan could have So even if it's your own flesh and blood, know the people around you. Don't be blindly trusting and don't be naive. And that is a fantastic lesson that I've learned from him. Now, not all fingers are the same. Not all your kids will be the same. For some, money is all that matters, I guess. So, next slide, please. This thing, the first point over here is about building bridges and a little introduction about, maybe a little prelude about the relationship that he had with NGR. They were literally like brothers because at a certain point in time, in the early 50s, when the film industry was in Coimbatore, NGR was spending a lot of money on his wife who was dying of cancer. So Appa sonar in the Mari, like, whatever you're getting in movies, in the cancer, you're losing it. Why don't you come and stay with me? Stay with me for 3 or 4 years till you're able to, get back on your feet. His first wife died, but that bond, like they became like brothers. In the still almost they became very, very close. And sometimes when you're that close, you tend to have differences of opinion. And there's one occasion where they were shooting a movie, and engineer walked in. And the director said, told Appa, like, he said, yeah, so, he said, so that man went and told engineers, engineer burst out laughing. He said, why the hell should he stand up for me? They had many differences of opinion. And during one movie, Jayalalitha came and told him, like, Mari, the previous movie, engineer said, double action pannare, the masters really liked it. So Appa told Jayalalitha, the movie, the hero version of he's going to do the male and the female version. And she went and said that to MJ. MJ took it pretty badly. And for Ulagam Sutram Valiban, Nambiar was not in the original movie. So this would happen all the time. Like they'll have a good relationship, a period of good relationship, and for 4 or 5 months, MJ won't talk to Appa. And then again, they'll get back to this thing because Appa, he'll go to and things like that. So once the movie was over, MJ came home and said like, yo, they used to call each other yo. So come to Gemini Studio, watch the movie that I've taken on that direction and the production. So Padam Mudichonna, MJ said, he said, you've gone all out, hats off to it. So MJ said, something's missing in this. He said, what do you mean something is missing? You've shot 26,000 feet. Movie's only 22,000 feet. You need to actually cut down some of the scenes. Like, I really love it, hats off to you. He said, no, something is missing, something missing. So I said, what's missing? He said, you're missing. I said, what do you mean you're missing? You're not even talking to me for a long time. Suddenly you come to my house and you ask me to come and watch a movie and you say, so what do you want me to do? He said, I want you to do a role in this movie with a Buddha Bhikshuva. I've planned something for you. In the end, this movie will go over the top. So Appa wanted to play a little bit with MJ. He said, I'll do the role, but you have to give me 3 months to build my body up. I'm a pure vegetarian and I'm going to build my body up and then come for this thing. So when he came for the first day of shoot and he took his robe out, MJ said, yo, ulla poya. So Appa was like, what do you mean ulla po? Ulla poya, I don't know what the hell you've done to your body, it looks fantastic. So mustard oil powder, every day of the shoot, there was a different silk robe that Nambiar would wear. And Appa always said, like, in spite of NGR's immaturity, in spite of him being surrounded by yes men and knowing he's surrounded by yes men, there's one part of him that didn't like the truth. And I would give him the truth. But I would never be bitter about it. So, in the end of the day, if somebody wants to come back and build bridges with me, I'm all for it. So he'll always tell me that, don't burn all your bridges with people. Appa once asked me, I have another 8 minutes. Appa once asked me, do you know who the actors are that I like the most? I said, I don't know. You tell me, I'm guessing MGR must be one, Shivaji must be. He said, no. I like MGR and Rajni. I said, okay, Appa. Yes. He asked me, do you know why I like MGR and Rajni? I said, in English. He said, because those guys have seen a rock bottom in life. It's only if you see rock bottom that you can go all the way to the top. They've learned their life lessons that way. So, wow, it's very, very interesting. I said, Appa, what about you? You yourself? I said, look, I had a tough life, but at least I had one square meal a day. Those two guys didn't even have that, which is why I really admire them, not as actors, but as human beings. Point number 3 is very interesting. They were once going, Appa and Amma were once going from Madras to Dindigul by car for a wedding. And the last moment, there's one gentleman, he was Saryapan Chettiar or something, he said, Nanu Varanga Kode. So the driver has taken the suitcase from the dicky and put it on top. And the car, they could tie stuff on top of the ambassador and travel. So travel pantu poranga, they done, I think, about 6 or 7 hours or something. They stopped over there for a late lunch. The moment they got down, Amma went to the dicky and said, I hope my jewelry box is over there. The driver said, the box is there. She looked on top, box and the rope was also untied. She said, what the hell happened to the box? What's happened? Long story short, the box is gone. It has fallen somewhere, maybe the Undur pet or wherever, it's gone. And very interestingly, she looked at Appa and said, oh my God, I had all my jewelry over there. And Appa's immediate reaction at that time was he started putting a beat on the car. Think about it, lakhs of money gone, and from that moment onwards, Amma had high BP for the rest of her life till she died. That shows a lot about the man's character. It's gone, dude, it's gone. Relax. Have we gone to the... Very good, super. Sir? Back. Thank you. One more, forward, sir. Know your weakness. Ready? Know your weakness. Sir, going back, sir, I think we need to go forward. Yeah. Losses and struggles. At the slide. Oh, okay. Hold on. I forgot about this one, the last one. Be ready when opportunity comes. 1 week before he died, obviously he didn't know that he was going to pass away. P. Vasu sir had come home to meet Appa because the word had come out that he was literally last in the temple. So we took on that. This is Vasu's own words. So I came home. I saw the great man lying in bed, and the moment he saw me, he got up. He said, no, Vasu. He said, I will pass it. Call sheet. Vasu said, I didn't know whether to laugh or cry because he was days from living and he wanted to know whether the call sheet is available. That showed the commitment that he had. And I was telling ma'am just before the talk started that very few people have the rasi of working till the day you die. He died at 89 and he worked till he was 86. That's a tremendous commitment to the craft and also God's grace in Solomon. Sir, next sir. Loyalty to spouse, team and to work. And it's legendary within the industry that MN Nambiar came first, second, last, wherever. His life was her, and he would always say, I said, yeah, I believe that. Yenda shooting ponalo, she would cook for him, tea, everything, and the full unity came home. Everybody, like, he'll share the food with them. And Orvati in a train, I'd seen her making sandwiches when the train is in motion. So they were like 2 peas in a pot, Nabi Solla. He was extremely committed. If there's one person after that he was close to, it's definitely not me, it's my mother. The second point. One point in time, my mother was extremely cheesed off with me because I eat non-veg. She's like, you want to become a leader? I said, like, how can you eat non-veg? Appa doesn't take, and then Swami himself said, let him eat whatever he wants, it's fine. So for him, it was like, you eat what you want as long as you're a good person. Just because I'm a pure vegetarian, I don't expect you to follow my footsteps that way. Once while going to Sabrimala, just a couple of days back, Shankar and I were at Sabrimala, we were telling him a lot of the stories that happened over there. And Yella group, there'll be a couple of Shakunis. And at that time in 1978 or something, people came and said, why are you taking Rajnikant, this group, Pusami? Do you see that fellow every day he comes for the puja, he's clean shaved. He said, okay, so? He said, no, don't allow him, just kick him out of the group. He said, look, this guy is just starting to come up like a superstar. Kadamada first, adukapram bhakti allame. He has to shoot, he will shave and come. So just stop complaining about him. So, what comes first? Verathan Swami, everything later. Be devoted to your work. And like I said, I was just alluding to the previous example as far as P. Vasu is concerned. The number one as far as most movies done in Tamil history or maybe even world history is Archie. She's done about 1,300 films. Interestingly, the second is MN Nambiar because he's done 1,100 films. And he was as committed, thank you so much. He was as committed to the first movie as he was to the last movie. That enthusiasm, if you have in your work or something, it will be very hard to stop you. Because it's ready, even the 1,100th movie, I'm going to do the same gusto that I did the first film. So once you're done with the message, flexible. It's the last slide, and I think I'll be on time.
You can take note. No,
Okay, sir. No, Q&A, I'm hoping you'll have a lot
very
too.
interesting information you're sharing.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. He started off as a comedian, Bhaktaram Dasla. Not many people know that. And Nijavalkeli also, he was extremely funny. Anytime you talk to him, he's either very quiet or very funny. And I've learned that. And a lot of people who came to see him or visit him, in many ways, he was an elevated soul. He never sat and gave kind of like what you see in Facebook these days, like one proverb and one funny looking guy. He would narrate his life through humorous anecdotes. And otherwise, you have to learn whatever you have to learn. So he tried being a comedian, it didn't work out. He tried being a hero, that also bombed. And it's funny because I think he's a reasonably good looking man. Finally, he found his niche as a villain. And that stuck. And he stayed a villain for the rest of his life. One day, the shooting spot, he was playing cards with Satyaraj sir. And cards was a big passion with him, Rami. So playing cards for some time, and then some fans came over there, and suddenly Satyaraj sir looked at his face and said, Sami, ennachu ungalukku? Ennachu? Sami, you were laughing till now, and suddenly your face has become like this. The fans are kangla. Ama Sami, இப்படி நம்ம சேர்த்தது அங்கேயே நிற்பாங்க எல்லாம் வந்து உயிரை வாங்குவாங்க. So I maintain the same thing. So villain is what he was completely defined by. And even now, I think the greatest tribute to him is the love that the people have had. His word has actually become a verb and a noun in Tamil. So I think that's fantastic. 70s, once he had done acting as a villain, I remember I was playing tennis with Papa one day, and the watchman came and said, Sir, actor on the card. So Papa said, Yaar on the card? Agiraj on the card. I was like, wow. He said, I was like, Appa, Agiraj on the card. Amada, surfboard. I was like, whoa, that's self-confidence. Then he went and spoke to Bhagiraj and said, like, I love your work. How come you come here? This Sami, you could have panam. He said, panam. You could have panam. Yapa, na MCR Sivaji Plan Narichapurige, no good na panam. Sami, listen to my story and then you decide whether you're going to love it. He narrated the story and he said, wait. You want me to do a good role? He said, Sami. Even before the coffee comes, don't waste your time. Sami, please listen to what I say. So many instances, even throughout the movie, Appa told Bhagiraj, Mannadi Mannala, Melthavan, and the line la podaya, your guy is the CM right now. I said, Sami, it's going to work out fantastic, trust me. And the preview when that line came, MJ kept on hitting Bhagiraj's thigh and said, I love this movie, I love this movie. That movie turned out to be his crossroads. After 1982, Student on the Poacher, people start seeing him as a character artist. And he just wanted to stop after being a villain. So that's, again, a thing of product. When your product is saturated, you kind of redefine yourself and move on. And 2 rupees a month. Salary, he borrowed 2 rupees from the accountant, send it home because he wanted his family to be happy. But throughout his life, he was always like, live within your means. Don't be too flamboyant. Don't be too. And this song used to be his favorite song. Try and live within your. Don't impress people who don't care much about you. Humor, like I said, he was always joking. Even to the day he passed, he always had something funny to say. Towards the end, he would say, like, my body's not cooperating. My mind wants to check out. He'd be like, Lapa, you can't talk that way. Don't talk that way. But the reason that he never had BP and the reason that he passed away is that he got an amoebic infection in hospital. Hospital was super cut after the age of 80. It's very difficult to survive. That's the reason he passed. Otherwise, he's very, very healthy. Any more slides, sir? Once you're done. So that is the life of an extraordinary man. And And he didn't tell me all these lessons. It was like, this is what happened in my life, and this is what the inferences are that you can take. So I think I made it on time. I want to thank all of you because one of my life's missions is to talk about Appa. I really love talking about him. So thank you once again for your time. The scene is the scene in Inevitable, where he's beating the living daylights out of MJR with a whip. That's it. We know what's going to happen next, but that's not my favorite scene. Anytime he beat MJR was my favorite scene. So that's an iconic movie. No, I mean, jokes aside, it was very painful for me to see him, getting hit, but I used to love that scene a lot. I was taking part of the triathlon, and somebody saw me, and they gave me an offer to do a villain's role. March 8th, Women's Day, it's a women's empowerment film, a chin role. Now I'm doing another movie as a larger villain's role, again with no expectations. In fact, when the movie came out, I told them, don't mention Appa's name. Just say Deepak has acted. I do not want to be known as somebody's varasa. I just wanted to see what it is to be in Appa's footsteps and go. So it was just 2 movies and done. I'm more than happy.
இதெல்லாம் வந்து அவர் வில்லன் சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க, காமெடின்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க, இல்லைன்னா வந்து பெர்ஃபார்மன்ஸ் ஆர்டிஸ்ட்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. ஆனால் அவர் வந்து ரொம்ப அழகாக இருக்காரு அப்படின்னு யாராவது சொல்லியிருக்காங்களா? ஆக்சுவலி அவரோட ஃபீச்சர்ஸ் வந்து எப்பவும் நீங்கள் ஒரு ஃப்ரேம் பண்ணியிருந்தீங்க. அவர் வந்து ஃபுல்லாக மொட்டையாக இருப்பார், ஆனால் அவ்வளோ அழகாக இருப்பார். நீங்கள் எப்போது அந்த மாதிரி ஃபீல் பண்ணிருக்கீங்க?
It's a great question, ma'am, because last week, Padam release both Bhagirath sir was the chief guest and he narrated an incident. He did a Rajkumar's role in that, Appa. And I think MJR was a pirate or something. So the first day of the shoot, they had dressed Nambiar Sami beautifully. He was looking like a real king. So one other, and then I think after 5 or 6 minutes, MJR said, cut, go back home. So Appa was like, what's going on? And then the director came and said, MJR said that your costume has to be changed. Appa said, next day he came to the set and the costume was even more lavish and beautiful. Appa went to MJ and said, yo, you're giving me a better look this time. He said, no, you looked fantastic. I want you to look even better, and that's the reason why I stopped the shooting, to make you look like an absolute king. So people did appreciate
சார், அவருக்கு பச்சை லைட்டும் சிகப்பு லைட்டும் ரொம்ப பிடிக்குமா? ஏன் கேட்குறேன்னா, எல்லா படத்துலையும் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, இப்போ ரீசெண்டாக பார்த்தீங்கன்னா வில்லன் வந்து அவ்வளோ அழகாக இருக்க மாட்டார். பட் இவர் காலத்தில் வந்து வில்லன் தான் ரொம்ப அழகாக இருப்பார், இதுவை விட. ஆனால் அவர் முகத்தை காமிக்கும் போது அவர் முகத்தில் பச்சை லைட்டாக சிகப்பு லைட்டாக அடிக்கலாம்.
And if you put that, I think you can make it even more villainish. But அந்த டைம்ல இப்போ இருக்கிற மாதிரி social media இல்ல சார். இப்போ Instagram, Facebookல there's too much of information about actors. அந்த டைம்ல சர்ச் பார்க்ல அம்மா படிக்கும்போது she was tortured by the teachers because அவங்க நிஜமாவே நினைச்சாங்க that she's the daughter of a very bad man. Her life was hell. And so Mumbai da so aap koi nadiyendi, why you coming to school na? It's only around 85-86 that people realize that this is actually a gem of a man. So his devotion to the craft was so much that people actually seen the one person on the theater like vandutanda, So that's the kind of impact he had. Good looking man and the mari funny colors podumbodhu they brought out the evil. But அந்த நீங்க ஒரு நான் கேட்டப்ப நீங்க நிறைய பேர் இந்த மாதிரி சிவாஜி மா ஓவர் ஆக்ஷன் பண்றாருன்னு சொல்றாங்களே, why can't you people tone it down? He said, நாடக கம்பெனியில் I have to act to the guy who's in the 30th row. கம்பீரமா நான் கத்துனாதான் பரவாயில்ல, இப்படி போகும்போது தான் he'll know that I'm acting. Natural acting is not really acting. I was like, Appa, that's a fantastic explanation. So that's why the presence that he had was like, I'm going to act now. No underplaying my role. Thank you for your question, sir. The trademark, sir. That trademark, that move on the it's become his Nambiar trademark. And in fact, YouTube have been bringing out all the best scenes from those movies. Almost every 4th or 5th movie are natural as Madri. We're done, sir. Suresh, saving the best for the last one. Please.
One more question.
Please, sir. Please, sir.
Did he have a fitness routine? Like MJR was known to do all that.
Yeah.
He looked fairly fit even in the later stage of his career.
Yeah. He would jog from 4 to 5 in the morning in the beach, and 5 to 6 he would do ground exercises. He had a home gym. In fact, I was telling ma'am that in the 1950s, gym had a concept at the time he had a home gym. So he had weights over there, and people didn't even know what he was doing. But that's the reason why, like, I wrestled with him when he was 35 and I was 25. It was impossible to get anywhere close to him because of the mass and the strength that he had. So he always told me, like, be very, very careful of what you put into your body. Be very careful of what you eat in the night because that's what's going to make you fat. Eat healthy foods wherever you can. Indulge only once in a while. Healthy food, working out like a beast all the time, which is what I've tried to follow to a small extent. So. No?
Okay. It was really a wonderful presentation. And my question is this: Sabarimalai Poirno, I mean, they overstudied, returned back. Guru Swami, I would call him Guru Swami, because 47 times he has gone to Sabarimala. And when we went up, we were 11 of us, and he was the first person to reach the peak, to the temple. So then I was wondering, like, so from where did you get this kind of determination, inspiration? Handicap golf but in life handicap you are not able to, open competition you are trying to participate, and you are trying to push yourself. So in fact I shared some videos also about you walking up the mountain, the hills. Where did you acquire this kind of willpower?
No, the willpower comes from my grandmother, not my grandfather. She was the man of the house. I've learned so much from her. Like, I can be very diplomatic and tell you the kind of answer that you want to hear. But what happened in my life 7 years back after the accident was I hit rock bottom. I wasn't given much time to live. And like, okay, if I do make it out of the ICU, I'm going to hit back at life with such a vengeance. People are going to be like, you know what, that crazy guy, he's MN Nambiar's grandson. Now you know why he's this crazy. I keep him in mind. It's not easy when you're in your 50s getting a silver medal at the national competition or whatnot. But I'm like, you know what, I don't care if you die doing it, do it for Appa, do it for Nambiar's for me. And that's the one thing that more than I keep him in mind. I'm like, so that's the only reason why I live my life. Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Yeah, one last question.
Sir.
You shared about MJR, Rajini, Shivaji Ganesan. So what about the female lead artist who is beyond the acting and their most friendly person is MN Nambiar? They stated in a lot of interviews. Do you have any memories like that?
Oh, he was friendly at the same time. He was a reserved person in real life, but very friendly around people. And our favorite actor, in fact, now who's your favorite actor? Solve Matar. Later on, I realized for two artists, every time they come on screen, he'll come forward and watch the screen. That was Savitri Amma, his favorite heroine, and Emma Radha, his favorite actor. So that's when I found out these are his favorite actors. So he was quite a reserved person, but the Swami Nalla beat Nalla Pesi and like people used to come. Good old days, sir. I still remember it very vividly. Thank you so much for your love. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Deepak Nambiar. That was a fantastic session. And for somebody to have such an immense dedication in life on their work, a strict disciplinarian, a staunch believer in God, and whatnot, and in spite of playing the villain all through the life, he has been the top hero in his personal life. That's something amazing of what a human being of his stature can be an example for all of us. So let's give one big round of applause. Thank you so much. So we would like to honor you with a memento, sir. Please come, do come forward. President-elect, please join us. Thank you so much. Well, even the meeting started, me and Deepak had a long conversation of the dais, and he shared some excellent information, more than what he shared on the mic. Nambiar Sami வந்து 300+ times போயிருக்காங்களா மலைக்கு, which நான் சொன்னேன் 300 டைம்ஸ்னா அப்போ ஒரு வருஷத்துக்கு எவ்வளோ தடவை அப்படின்னு கேட்டேன். Almost 5 times சொன்னாரு. Unbelievable. That's unbelievable. Seriously. And இன்னொரு விஷயம் என்னன்னா, all of us love ourselves. நம்ம எல்லாருக்கும் நம்மளை ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். ஆனால் நம்மளை பிடிக்கும்னு சொல்ற விஷயம் எவ்வளோ பேர் நம்ம உடம்புல வந்து அந்த பிடிக்குன்ற விஷயத்த நம்ம இன்டர்னலைஸ் பண்ணி நம்ம பாடியை கரெக்டாக வச்சுக்கணும், நம்ம மைண்டை கரெக்டாக வச்சுக்கணும்னு எத்தனை பேர் யோசிக்கணும் இல்லையா? Quite very few. See, I like myself is what are you trying to say? I should have a good job, I should have a good car, I should have 10 houses. Is what I like myself? Definitely not. How good are you a person defines your stature and personality. That's in that sense, definitely Mr. Nambiar stands a class apart in his generations at least. So, going forward, can I request our secretary to give the secretary announcements?
Thank you very much, Speaker. And in fact, I have gone through the last 24 hours. I did some research on your thing. So all that you have shared, so I have nothing to say. But I have one point which I just want to say. It's a real life story what MN Nambiar has shared. He was traveling towards the Gemini studio near Kodambakkam. There was a traffic signal. He was inside the vehicle. He was surrounded by 5 gundas. And they asked him, Nambiara, Pellava. He was hesitant to come out, but at the same time, he is brave enough to come out and say, Nambiara da. அடுத்த வாட்டி ஆனா அடிச்ச உன்னை காலி பண்ணு, சரிங்களா, இனிமே நான் அவனை அடிக்க மாட்டேன் அப்படின்னு சொல்லிட்டு உள்ள போய் உட்காந்து. ஃபார் ஹிஸ் சர்ப்ரைஸ், வண்டி ஸ்டார்ட் ஆகி சிக்னல் மூவ் ஆனவுடனே MN Nambiar வாழ்க வாழ்கன்னு கத்துறாங்க. ஸோ he felt, இவங்க என்ன உண்மையா திட்டுறாங்களா இல்லை என்ன ரசிக்கிறாங்களான்னு எனக்கு தெரியல. This I read it from your YouTube only, what you have given. So இந்த மாதிரி நான் படிக்கும் போது நான் வந்துட்டு டிக்கெட் வாங்க தியேட்டர் போகும்போது நம்மலாம் வந்து பைக் மேலே ஏறி நின்றுலாம் வாங்கிட்டு பார்த்துருக்கோம். இந்த உலகம் சுற்றும் வாலிபன் நான் போயிருக்கேன். அது அஃப்கோர்ஸ் ஃபர்ஸ்ட் லான்ச் பண்ணும்போது நம்மலாம் எந்தமானு தெரியாது அப்போ போல. அது ஒரு 10-15 இயர்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் திருப்பி லைன்ல போய் நின்று திருப்பியும் அது 100 days ஓடின காலம்லாம் எனக்கு தெரியும். அப்போ நான் போயிருக்கேன். அந்த படம் மாத்திரம் எனக்கு ரொம்ப பிடிக்கும். இந்த பாட்டு அந்த இதெல்லாம் it's a big memories, and of course his place nobody can replace even today. I mean, that's the kind of thing. And finally, I am also been going to Sabrimala for the last 30 years. I lost my count, but I've been going every year. I go only on February. I managed to see his what do you call your donor place. Ida நம்ம நம்பியார் மடம் பார்த்துட்டு வந்துருவேன். நான் உள்ள போனதில்லை. So this is how he carries. Of course, MGR is in one direction, he is in another direction. His direction, as you rightly said, good, bad, and holy, not ugly.
Dear Deepak Nambiar, sir, thank you so much for sparing your valuable time today with us, and also sharing the power pack 20 minutes about your grandfather, the legend MN Nambiar. What we know, he was a villain, but and the 20 minutes you showcased him, the real hero in him. Super, sir. Thank you so much. It was very nice. And I would like to thank past President Rotarian Ramanathan for calling, the President Rotarian Sampak Giraja for delivering the 4 waiters, President-elect Rotarian Shankar for thoughtful thought for the day, First Lady for introducing the speaker. I thank the guests for the evening and prospective members for the evening, Saravanan for covering the video, and Vishwanathan and team for audio visual, and Kritika Madhu for the meeting chairman today, and thank you for the hotel management. Thank you once again.